Hey everyone, good morning. It's a really beautiful sunny morning in Seattle, Washington. My name is Nicole Kincaid at NicoleKincaid.com, and I want to talk to you about something this morning that is really annoying to me that has to do with clutter clearing and organizing. And what I want to talk to you about is, what does sparking joy have to do with organizing? Now, I want to just say I love Marie Kondo's work, her book on tidying up, and I think that she has such innovation, and she wrote so beautifully about clutter clearing and organizing, and she definitely has a lot of her own systems and a lot of ways that she applies. She has clients and people apply the work, right? But the one thing that I really don't understand, and quite frankly I don't agree with, is the concept of sparking joy. And here's why. If you are going through all of your things and you are using the barometer of, I'm going to keep this or I'm not going to keep this, based on whether or not it sparks joy, that to me is a very limited lane of things that you get to keep that then represent who you are in your space. And I don't mean in the way of like, my blender doesn't spark joy, so I can't keep that. I don't mean it in that way. The way that I mean it is this: that we humans are very dynamic, very complex people, and that we have become who we are over a whole lifetime of memories, of good experiences, of painful experiences, of trials and errors, and of joy, and all a whole range of things, right? We can all agree to that. So if you take something and you say, I'm only going to take the energy of joy and I'm only going to let that exist in my life, it's sort of like deleting the things out of your life that have made you who you are. And so I really grapple with that. And I want to give you a little short example from my own life. So about a year ago, I lost my beloved dog, Dieter. Dieter was my buddy. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to having a dog that just was your whole heart. And Dieter was mine. And I lost him unexpectedly, and I wasn't prepared for it. And it broke my heart. And I don't know, like a good 6 months, maybe a little bit longer, I was going through my computer and I found a whole series of photos that had been taken of Dieter. And they were all collected together. And it just induced in me massive grief and a lot of like weeping and sadness, and just looking at these photos and remembering my boy and remembering all the good times we'd had, and just remembering how much I love this dog and how wonderful. And so these photos, this is what happens. These photos broke open all, like it like kind of unleashed all of these memories and and the experiences of what I'd had of life with Dieter, right? And so I went through all the photos, and let's say there was like 50 photos. That might not be far off from the truth. And I wept and I wept and I wept. But if I had followed this whole idea that it had to like induce joy, or that I had to feel like positive and happy, and I would have just deleted all these pictures, right? And I got to the end of all these photos and I went through all the grief and all the feels about it. And I decided I could get rid of a few of the photos, maybe the ones that were really, really similar to one another, etc. But I was not willing to delete all of these photos, because I want to remember what that dog meant to me and the life that I had with him. And even though it brought up so much pain and so much grief and so much sadness, I welcome that because that's part of my past and it's part of who I was and who I am and how my life was shaped by having this dog in my life. And I never ever want to forget that. And so I think there are times in our lives when we have things in our lives that don't necessarily conjure up necessarily positive memories, but we keep them anyway because they made us who we are. So here's a little tip, just to like, as you're going through your things, just give yourself a break for like, if you want to keep something that doesn't necessarily make you feel a positive emotion, but that is still precious to you, keep it. And I have this kind of rule that if something isn't a no, like a strong, like I really don't need that anymore, that really doesn't fit into my life, I'm really complete with it, a no, it's a yes. So if you're wavering and you're still in a lot of pain and discomfort, or you're still processing the emotions of an experience like like a loss you've had in your life or whatever, that is oftentimes, I have found with clients, not the time to be getting rid of the physical things related to it. Okay? Have a really great day. Thanks for listening.